Here we have a pre-owned 2012 Scion IQ. This one comes in hot lava. You have black cloth interior. Powertrain consists of a 1.3 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine mated to a continuously variable transmission. This one has a little over 67,000 miles, so let's go ahead and check it out. Front end here, halogen headlamps, and a very, very noticeable front end there. The front fascia just, it's something else. It looks almost like a robot of some sort, but kind of is. It's a machine. But down here, these are going to be 16-inch steel wheels. You can lock and unlock manually if you want to, but we have our power door lock controls, rear window locks, one-touch up and down windows on both doors, power mirror controls, hood release, pedals. We do have the knee airbags on both sides, which is pretty neat, and then a manual tilt steering wheel. But there is the manual driver's seat, so we can either move it forward or back, and then we can move the seat back and forth, but that's it. Now I do want to give a huge thank you to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this IQ today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. We do get a power release for the trunk space, which is pretty neat. And then we can fold the seat flat if we want to, which is probably the only way you'd want to use this thing. But you do have 2 seats with seat belts if you want to try that. And you do get a bottle holder on each side, which is pretty neat. But there's a look at the back end. Look underneath the exhaust. And then to the front passenger seat, same manual adjustability as the driver's side. And just an interesting seat design in my opinion. Down here you can unlock or lock the doors from here. For the passenger side, then you have a USB-A and an aux input and your traction control button there. We'll go back over all that once you get to the driver's side. But no traditional storage compartment like you're used to in most cars. Back to the front end. It's tucked in there is that 1.3 liter inline 4-cylinder. Now we'll check out the blinkers. So there's the back end. Side mirror in the front. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So I actually like that the steering wheel seems to be leather wrapped. Feels really nice, and I actually like the design of it as well. Here's the horn. Not as bad as I thought it was gonna sound. Over here to the radio, you do get a CD drive here, so you can pick between the CD drive, AM or satellite, or you have 2 different channels for the FM, and then you have an iPod USB set up there as well. And then on top of that, you also have Bluetooth audio, which is nice. Bluetooth controls here for the phone, power, all these settings here. Pretty standard in a CD player radio, but presets as well you can go through if you want to do that. Hazards, fan speed can be controlled for the AC. You can cut the whole thing off. Rear defroster's there. You can choose your fan direction here with this knob, and then you can close off the vents there. And then you can decide to use the AC controls to toggle the temperature, and the actual AC you can turn on or off with that button. Down here, you do get a 12 volt. And then your shifters right here, so just hit the brake, pull, reverse, neutral, drive, sport mode, and then you have the engine braking if you want to use that. Handbrake. I do like this, you just have a kind of center spot here you can walk through, and then hit this lever here and it just makes easy access to get to that back seat. But there's a look at the back from up here. Here we have the vanity, well, the interior light, the dome light, excuse me. Your vanity mirror is there. And then back to the steering wheel itself. Left side stock blinkers, high beams. I'm gonna turn the lights off. We can see this better over here. I might have to zoom in as well. So we can change, using these buttons down below, our view there. So we can see the average, fuel economy, odometer, the trip meter, all of that there. But there's a look at the normal gauge cluster. There's high, low, intermittent, off, one time, and then we can use our rear wiper here. We just have off and on for that. And then fluid for the rear, either direction there. Pull up here for the front fluid. Now this power mode, you can use that while driving. If you want to decide to cut the radio on or off, just hold that button and then you can tap it to go through the different sources. Volume down, volume up. We can go through our radio station presets or track list there. And then we do have the key fob, and there is the key there. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2012 Scion IQ out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this IQ here, I put it in the sport mode just to see how it drives. And it actually does a pretty decent job of getting up to speed here. Obviously, it's not going to win any races off the line, but it can keep up. And for it to be so small, the interior space in here is not bad. I'm 6'3" and I just have it, you know, leveled standard. And I still have about an inch or so of headroom, so that's pretty impressive. And the seat's actually relatively wide for the type of vehicle it is. Now the CVT is relatively loud. It's just giving a little whine off there, but for the most part, it's what I expect from a vehicle of this caliber. But I mean, it's driving normally. This has less than 68,000 miles on it, so extremely low miles for the year. But also, these cars aren't really those that you take on long distance road trips either. But we'll see how it gets up to speed when we take it on the interstate. Now in the normal drive mode, which is basically the non-sport, you do have the eco, and that'll kind of activate on its own. And then when you give it a little bit more throttle than it's used to, that'll go off, and then you'll start to hear, particularly in this car, that whine from the transmission. Now I do want to give one more thanks to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this vehicle today. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever used vehicle you might be interested in. Here we go. Oh yeah, she is quick. Gonna try to give it a better pull getting on the interstate here, if at all possible. Here we go. So, I mean, it definitely goes. It's not terrible at all. Have a little bit more space. This will be better. Here we go. So yeah, I mean, it's meant for city driving anyway. That was not bad, honestly. Now it helps that this is a lighter car. And I mean, a CVT, as much as it's meant for efficiency, it also kind of gets rid of shift points as well. But again, I wouldn't race anybody in this. You could, but you'd lose. But for what it's designed to do, it gets it done, I think, in a very, very inexpensive form. Yeah, the overall acceleration for this thing in city driving, it's actually really good. And I say that meaning for this kind of engine, it actually does put the power down very efficiently. Didn't have as much of a lag time as I thought I would. I'm very impressed with how this is accelerating for what it is again. Now the vehicle's definitely not quiet, so obviously you have the whine from the transmission, but also where everything is kind of on top of each other. Not saying that in a bad way, but it's an enclosed space here. It's a vehicle that's low to the ground. You can pretty much hear everything because it's right there. It's not like these SUV platform or large platform cars that we're used to. This is like a sub-compact vehicle. So even when I hit random bumps in the road, I can feel everything in the steering wheel. It's actually pretty wild to me. But if you want to do Uber Eats or something like that, I think this would be a great way to do it. Very inexpensive transportation, from actually buying the car to the maintenance to the gas. I put $5 in this thing. It was flashing on the E and now it's at half a tank. So I don't know why it's doing that, because it was literally like not even 2 gallons worth of gas that I put into it. But I'm glad. With all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2012 Scion IQ.